All right, we are on clock. Welcome to meeting number 14 of Spearhead Toastmaster. I'm Heena, Sergeant at Arms for the day. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. You are now inside the code of conduct of a Toastmasters meeting. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and that it may not be possible to pause the recording. The following are the meeting rules. Audience, please be advised that any behavior that disrupts the flow of the meeting will result in removal from the meeting room without any warning. Please ensure that your noise making devices are either switched off or on silent mode. Please speak responsibly on religion, sex, and politics in your speeches. As far as possible, please keep your videos on, audio off, and applause throughout. Be kind of the audience to the ones you would have wanted for yourself. I would now hand over to the presiding officer, Ragini Rajpal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Heena. Welcome, fellow members and guests, to the 14th meeting of the Spearhead Toastmasters Club. Please help me welcome our esteemed guest in the meeting today, commencing with Smita Verma, who is also playing the grammarian role for today, Amit Mishra, and Shivangi Kaushik. And now my heartfelt gratitude to all the role players and members to help us conduct the session every week smoothly. Just before I logged in to Zoom, I just switched off the television screen. And you know what I was watching? The Pursuit of Happiness. And I really want to accentuate one of the stories shared by the little kid in the movie. It goes like, one day a man was drowning in the water. A boat came by and said, "Do you need any help?" He said, "No, thank you. God will save me." Another boat came by and said, "Do you need any help?" But the boy replied, "No, thank you. God will save me." Then he drowned and went to heaven. And he said, "God, why didn't you save me?" And God said, "I sent you two big boats, dummy." And it taught me a lesson that not always what you expect in your head to happen will take place. Like here, he was expecting God literally to help him. Duh. But sometimes opportunities may knock your doors in different manners. So you just need to be cognizant to be able to recognize those. Another highlight here, that is a few seconds I invested in the movie, which taught me a lesson for life, for eternity. And hence, I believe our own experiences, which we go through, irrespective of its breadth and depth, always teaches us lessons for life. And hence, experiences makes the best teacher. In the same vein, there are a lot of values that I learned from each one of you present here in every meeting. And one value that my Toastmaster of the day reflects is commitment. He is super busy in his life, but still committed to Toastmasters to be a lifelong member, always willing to learn and improve. Let's hear about the experiences which he has to share and which he has in store for us on this auspicious occasion of the Teachers' Day. Stay tuned and please help me welcome the Toastmaster of the day, Pawan Kaushik.
Thank you, Ragni, for a nice introduction. A very good afternoon to fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I welcome you all once again for this wonderful Spearhead Toastmasters meeting. As Ragni already touched upon the meeting, it's around Teachers' Day. So the name of the theme is Thank You, Teachers. So with this script, I want to say thanks to all special people who have been a part of my journey and helped me grow in my personal and professional life. But before I begin, I want to talk about the history of the Teacher Day because that's very important for all of us to know. Many of you might be aware of it, but just a quick recap. In India, Teachers' Day is celebrated annually on September 5th to mark the birthday of our country's former president, scholar, philosopher, and Bharat Ratna awarded Dr. Radhakrishnan, who was born on this day in 1888. When Dr. Radhakrishnan took office of the second president of India in 1962, his students approached him to seek permission to celebrate September 5th as a special day. Dr. Radhakrishnan made a request to them to observe September 5th as a Teachers' Day to recognize the contribution of the teachers to the society. So, on this special occasion of Teachers' Day, here is a tribute to all those incredible people who are one of the biggest reasons for the person I am today. I am lucky that I have good teachers, mentors, and friends who always guided me towards the right path in my life. When I look back on my school days, I feel nostalgic, like many of you. The joy of school life are surely countless. Indeed, the school days are the best days of our life. I still remember some glimpse of my school days. The moral science class used to be the first class of the day, but I never paid attention because I had enough lectures from my parents. English teacher hardly gave me passing marks because of my bad grammar. Sorry, history teacher, but history period was a perfect time to open the lunchbox and save time to play during the break. Science teacher, the prettiest in the entire teaching staff, was the reason for me to join the class, not the subject. Math was my favorite subject, but I could never beat the topper of my class in numbers. Apart from all these, there is a flip side as well. And I will be talking about that in a while. But before that, let me introduce the structure of the meeting. A typical Toastmaster meeting has three main sections. In the first section, we have prepared speeches. Here, the speaker who will deliver speeches as per their respective pathways program. The second section of the meeting is the table topic section. It is a fun part of the meeting where members and guests will get an opportunity for impromptu speaking on a topic given by the Toastmaster. The third and the most important section of the entire meeting is the evaluation section. Under evaluation section, evaluator will share the feedback. During this section or before this section, members as well as guests can also write the feedback and share with the speaker. And to explain and to evaluate the meeting as a whole, we have a very important role player that we call general evaluator. So today's general evaluator is also the president of this club and past area director. When I asked her who comes to her mind when she thinks about Teacher's Day, then she recognized her mother, not just because she taught her when she was kid or still teaching her, but because she learns new things every single day from her mom. So welcome, Toastmaster Ragini.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Hello again. I am your general evaluator for the day. Every Toastmasters meeting has a general evaluator. For this very same reason, every school year ends with a report card, or every company has a year end appraisal. Now, I don't mean to scare you, but to see where we stand. As a general evaluator, my role is to evaluate the entire meeting today and give a comprehensive report on what went good, what didn't, and how can we improve. Assisting me is in this role, I have my tag team where T stands for timer, A for our counter, and G for grammarian. I request the tech master to please spotlight the role player as I introduce them and describe their responsibilities. To make our communication concise, we have the timer Toastmaster Rama. Toastmaster Rama, please display the cards as I announce it. Every prepared speech section is subjected to a time limit of 5 to 7 minutes. You see this green light at 5 minutes, yellow at 6, and red at 7 minutes. Thank you. And there is a 30 seconds grace period on either side. Every table topic speech is subjected to a time limit of 1 to 2 minutes. In a similar manner, you will see the green light at 1, yellow at 1.5, and red at 2 minutes of time. There is a 30 seconds grace period on the upper side. Lastly, every evaluation section is subjected to a time limit of 2 to 3 minutes. You see the green light at 2, yellow at 2.5, and red at 3 minutes of time. There is a 30 seconds grace period on the either side. Thank you. To make our communication clear and free of any filler words, we have the R counter Toastmaster Heena. She will make the note of pauses, repetitions, sounds, and fumbles like ahs and ums, filler words like you know, so, I mean, etc., used by speakers and role plays. Thank you. To make our communication correct, we have the grammarian Toastmaster Smita Verma, who would note the good usages of this beautiful language and also let us know where could we improve by providing some not so good or grammatical errors made by speakers and role plays. Also, she is to introduce the word of the day. I would pass the stage to her to introduce the same.
Thank you. Thanks, PO and General Evaluator Ravni Rajpal. So grammar is what a syntax to a software and a computer. If you put the wrong syntax, then it results into error. Same way, if we don't follow grammar, it will result into the wrong understanding of the message. So I'll be evaluating today on grammar, and the word of today is celerity. Celerity means swiftness or speed. It's a noun, and when you want to remember, you can see a parallel in accelerate and celerity. Both have the root word celer. Celer means speed in Greek, and the usage could be he will take his own time. There is no space for celerity in the due process of law. That's all from my side, and over to Toastmaster Ragini. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smita. Next, I would introduce my extended team member playing the role of speech evaluator who will evaluate the prepared speech for our speaker one, who is Toastmaster Priyanka. Thank you. With the hope to learn more and become more resilient, I would now hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, Pawan.
Thanks, Ragini. So I talked about the fun part of the school days. Now let me talk about the other side of the school life. And I'm talking about 1990s, when the culture was a little different than today. I had a pressure to get good marks and impress my parents. My parents always wanted me to get the best marks in the class, but I wasn't a very studious student and always struggled to get good marks. My focus was more on sports and other activities, and I admit that I didn't pay much attention on my studies. I used to do studies just to get passing marks and move to the next class. I still remember one special teacher, Tyagi ma'am, my maths teacher and the class teacher then, was my savior in all parents teacher meeting. Though I got medal in sports for my school, but my parents were never convinced with the marks I was getting in my classes. But Tyagi ma'am always gave assurance to the parents that your son is a brilliant student who has a great potential, so don't just focus on marks. As a teacher, she always guided and inspired me to become a good human being and nourished my thinking. She's the one who helped me to understand how to focus, how to keep motivated in odd conditions, and how to bring sportsmanship in every phase of the life. My parents had concerns with my studies, but I ended up getting two bachelor's degrees and two master degrees, and numerous professional certifications. I truly believe a good teacher can bring out the best from you because they know the uniqueness of every student. Jaggi ma'am has a very special place in my heart, and I always be grateful to her. So thank you, Jaggi ma'am. With that, I would jump into the first section, which is a prepared speech section. Our first speaker is a technology lead in an IT company and a Toastmaster for nearly 2 years. Currently, he is serving as an area director for Area M4. For him, Teachers' Day definitely brings back those lovely, cherished memories of schools and college with sweet and sour teachers. But more importantly, it re-emphasizes the importance of mentors in life, a day on which he would like to thank his mentors because of their contribution in his life. But before that, I want to call upon his speech evaluator, Toastmaster Priyanka, to share the speech objective. So over to you, Priyanka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Patel. Toastmaster Nimit is
Priyanka, you're not audible to me. I'm not sure if the case is with me.
Priyanka, can you
Yes,
switch off your video?
of level which is the purpose of this project. I'm audible now.
I think we lost her, right? So what we can do is, Nimit, please, could you pass on your objectives in the chat box and the Toastmaster of the day would read it loud? You are on mute.
I'm sharing with him on one-to-one.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Sorry for the technical inconvenience. Am I audible, everyone?
Yes.
Priyanka, you can switch off your video. The audio quality would be better then.
Thank you. Yes, sure.
And if you
The
want, I
purpose
can.
of this, yes, sure. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a change management plan. Timer, please note the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Amit. Over to you, Moti.
Okay. So Nimit, virtual reality, Nimit.
It was the onset of March 2020. The club executive committee, as usual, was having a prolific discussion around enhancing the meeting quality and achieving club goals. As the vice president membership, I was assigned the responsibility of leading membership renewals. One day, it was business as usual as I started to make calls to my fellow club members to renew their membership. One person refused to renew. But to my surprise, it was followed by another one, and then another one, and then another one. Rumors were converting into reality. News into nightmare. oblivion into the obvious. The pandemic was starting to take over the world, but our EC was still divided. Half of them conceding to the horrifying truth, the other half still adamant to continue with the physical meetings. The meetings where we all gathered in person, laughed, applauded, but most importantly, the thrill which we experienced on a real stage, speaking in front of real public. Ideas flew in from left, right, and center to save the physical meetings. But we knew in back of our mind that we are fighting a lost battle. These were extraordinary times indeed, and we could not risk anyone's safety. One day, a government's directive made it official. Our mindset, which was resisting the inevitable change, started accepting it. Amidst all the sadness, we gathered strength, united again, and started considering our alternatives. We explored each and every platform: Cisco WebEx, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and the new kid on the block, Zoom, that time was somewhat not reliable for some reason. We did a lot of storming and tryouts on these very platforms and eventually conducted our first ever virtual club meeting on an official WebEx account. Only 10-12 odd members joined. And as confusing and clueless we were, we managed to complete the meeting successfully. But over the course of next 2-3 weeks, Zoom emerged as a clear winner. We eventually bought a paid subscription of Zoom and played with it, nurtured it, and nourished it just like a baby. Come April, there was panic all around. The virus was here to stay, and I realized, and so are virtual meetings. We were possibly looking at the virtual reality with no horizon of normalcy. With many members leaving the club, I decided to persist. This relatively silent EC member back then could not digest this major setback in his leadership journey and set his eyes on being the club president for the next term. Regular dip in meeting attendance, backouts, no new members, and depleting club meeting quality were some major areas of concern he had to address. And this is when I, along with the team, decided to put the things in perspective, devise a plan, and strategize the next actions. The short-term goal was to better familiarize with the Zoom platform, provide a professional meeting experience to the guests and members, and then better administration for guest registrations and security. Our baby was growing and maturing, and we could master the application. We, in fact, started lending our Zoom account to other club meetings and district events, and were obviously well appreciated in the end. With a new excitement and a sense of achievement, this motivated me to continue on this path and commit for the future. This also laid the foundation for the medium and the long-term goals which we had set, that were to increase the membership strength achieve 9 DCP goals by December, and Hall of Fame by the end of the year. The goal was quite ambitious, but building on the momentum of enhanced meeting quality, the focus shifted on the PR and getting more and more guests to the meeting. This is when I realized the true potential of online meetings. We not only explored, but exploited the anywhere, anytime nature of the online meetings. Membership drives, special education sessions, and milestone meetings backed by intelligent PR created a momentum like no other and opened the doors for the world to our club meetings. Ex-members joined back, new members took charge, and our club achieved the Hall of Fame. Friends, this story is not unique. In fact, it's quite similar to most of the clubs in Toastmasters and outside. But this journey from reality to virtual reality made me learn a very important lesson in leadership, given by Darwin in his time, but still applicable today in every walk of life. And that is that one who survives and eventually wins the game is not the one who is the strongest or the most intelligent, but the one who can manage change. Thank you, and over to you, Timon.
Thank you, Nimit, for the wonderful speech. I still remember that day when we started off the online meetings. It wasn't easy because we were not, used to have online meetings. Initially, we struggled, but now I feel so happy to see the overall improvement that we have seen. People feel more comfortable even with the online meetings, and we have people who are joining from overseas as well. People who had few challenges coming to that particular premise and attend the meeting, now they have flexibility to join it online. So thank you for that. Okay, we would now maintain 1 minute silence. So timer, please note the time, and I would request everyone to write the feedback and share with Nimit. Okay. So timer, just let me know when the time is over. Thank you. So I talked about my school life, talked about the challenges, and talked about where I ended up. Now I want to talk about the other major important part of my life. So after completing these studies, a new phase of life began, and that was my corporate life, like most of the people like me. And this life was full of unknowns. And when you enter as a newbie, you really don't know where you might land. The corporate politics, biasness, favoritism, I faced all these challenges in my life. So after completing my master's in computer application, I joined an MNC as a software engineer. But there, I did data entry job for 3 months. I was frustrated because I wanted to do some engineering work because I was appointed for that work. I had a mentor assigned, Ambarish Sharma, with whom I formed a very strong bond. He guided me how to work beyond your current role and shine. He had a very different way to teach me new things. He used to put me in a difficult situation and wanted me to explore all possible ways to come out without any help. help. And frankly speaking, I didn't like his approach until I started seeing the results. He gave me strong foundation, which is helping me even today. The values he imbibed in me are still very relevant. Amrish and I, today we work in a different companies, but we are still friends and share a very strong bond. So thank you, Amrish, for being an amazing mentor and a friend. Now, this is the time to start our second section of the meeting, which is table topic master. So today, the table topic master is someone who is working in Milliman India organization, and he loves to do meditation each day. When I asked about the teacher day from him, he said, teacher guides the energy of a child to utilize for productive things and build future. Teachers are not only impart knowledge to their student, but they inspire and encourage them to be a better person. With that, let me introduce our table topic master of the day. So, welcome, Surjit. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. One of the most exciting portion of the Toastmaster meeting is table topic session. Table topic session is the main objective of the table topic session is to challenge the member to develop their impromptu communication skill by answering unrehearsed questions. We also give each member an opportunity to speak in each meeting. So we do this with our table topic session. The main objective, or we can say that table topic session is specifically designed to develop four essential communication skills: listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking. Today, as a table topic master, I will ask questions related to our meeting theme. So the speaker has to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, and there will be a grace period of 30 seconds. So speaker who speak more than the grace period will be disqualified. So let's get started. Who want to be the first? So we have grammarian Smita Verma. Smita, are you ready? Can you speak a word? Yes.
One.
So topic for you is Smita. Your favorite teacher, Smita.
Thank you. Thank you, table topic master, Surjit. My favorite teacher. My favorite teacher, I think, is the one who taught me how to evolve, just like team or Pawan mentioned, that the mentor was pushing him to go to the boundaries of his comfort zone and explore more. So those kind of teachers helped me a lot in my career, in my life journey. But there is a specific teacher I would like to mention her name, teacher Sangeeta Agrawal. She was my class teacher in standard 5th. But she was my favorite teacher because she always believed in my capabilities. I went to a Hindi medium school till standard 10th, and there was no science available in this school. And the standards of English were very poor, pathetic. But this teacher believed that I could take science when I was in the 10th standard. Not only that, she actually reached out to my parents and convinced them that let give Smita one chance to explore. I believe that she can. And that was the time my other teachers who taught me in the senior classes were telling me the stories that you might not be able to do well, because it's okay to do well in Hindi medium till 10th standard, but if you go to a science side, many of the English medium school students also tend to fail. You will be changing school and it might result into disaster. But this teacher believed in me, and I think this is the best quality of teachers. They always look at the potential. They don't look at what is available in front of them. So my favorite teacher, Sangeeta Agrawal. My favorite teacher, Sangeeta Agrawal. And over Toastmaster Sujit. Thank you.
Thank you, Smita. It's nicely explaining your favorite teachers and the quality of the favorite teacher you were looking for. So now moving ahead, who want we have guests Shivangi, we have Bathelhem, Amit Mishra, we have Pallavi, anyone? Amit, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Amit, topic for you is Amit, teacher versus mentor. Teacher versus mentor, Amit.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Sujit, for giving me the opportunity to talk on this topic. And I would like to tell you, mentor and teacher. Basically, it's altogether a different kind of person, and phase of my life that I have experienced many of teachers, but mentors are very few who has guided well, who has given me the path so that I will follow. They will in each phase of my life that I have experienced multiple times that I am doing something wrong, uh, something which is not good for the society even, and I have taken the wrong decision, and the mentor is the one of the person who has guided me, who has given me the support that uh, whatever the right way to execute the job or giving the proper guidance, that's what the mentor for me. And today is a teacher's day, so I must applaud one of my boss, ex-boss. Currently, I'm not reporting to him, but Mr. Shahab Naqvi. He is a ABB India head in current time. So he is basically my mentor that during my professional and my personal life, he has given me the essential support whenever I required. Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Amit. Now move at we have Shivangi, Shivangi Kaushik.
Yes, Amit.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon. So topic for you is ideal teacher definition. Ideal teacher definition, Shivangi.
Your ideal teacher is
Yes.
as we think like as we brought up I'm not very fluent actually.
No issue.
Go ahead, Shivangi. You are doing good.
Okay. They like so many teachers in our life. We experience so many teachers that they teach us and they taught us so different subjects and all. And the ideal teacher would be like who they teach the student, and they guide them for their future, and they help them in every phase of their lives like a mentor. And I think that's it. I can say.
Thank you, Shivangi, for such a wonderful effort. So moving ahead, we have Bathelhem. Bathelhem. Sorry. We have Sanjay Agarwal. Sanjay.
No, please go ahead. I will not take this time.
Okay. No issue. Okay. We have Pallavi. Pallavi Bajoria.
Hello.
Yeah, Pallavi, are you ready?
I just attended it first time. I can try. I am a guest. I appeared as a guest, but yes, you can give me the topic. I can try. I'm not sure about it.
Yes. Topic for you is memorable summer break. Memorable summer break, Pallavi.
Memorable summer break. Okay. Well, I like to skip. I like to skip this topic.
Okay, I will give you another topic if you like. Pallavi, would you try another topic?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Topic for you is who has had the greatest impact on your life? Who has had the greatest impact on your life, Pallavi?
All right. The greatest impact in my life, I believe, if I'll talk about my experience, is my spiritual guru, or we can, guru, a teacher who really teach me, who really give me the, what is the real, he gave me the experience, really what happened actually, how the life works and how to, deals with the situations. So for me, it's my guru. That's it.
Okay, wonderful effort. So moving ahead, we have
We can ask Bathelhem if she's ready.
Yeah.
Bathelhem, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Topic for you is if you have to teach something, what would you teach? If you have to teach something, what would you teach, Bathelhem?
Thank you, table topic master of the day. If I can teach something for the people, the one thing that I will teach is to be persistent. Whatever you do, if you are committed and persistent and focused, you will achieve whatever you think. For example, I have one example. When I studied the French language, I was very committed and eager to develop more. So fortunately, I was working at Gabon Embassy here in Addis. I have an opportunity to speak with different kind of Francophone peoples. And also I was very eager to develop the language. So I watched different kind of movies that helped me a lot. From my experience, if you are focused and committed, whatever it is, we'll achieve it. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Bathelhem. Thank you. So moving ahead, we have Amit Mishra. Oh, sorry, Amit has. Sanjay, would you give it a try? We have Nimit. Nimit?
No, no, this time. Sorry, I am not ready this time.
Okay, okay, no issue. Nimit?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Topic for you is what did life teach you yesterday? What did life teach you yesterday, Nimit?
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Indeed, if we look at it very closely, there is so much to learn. Even at this age, the life teaches us every day. And I have learned something today as well. In fact, from this meeting as well. But what did I learn yesterday? Yesterday, I was alone at home, my parents out of town, I and my wife at home. I learned that how we can spent good time together. Although we knew, but this time it was quite special. This time I had to also kind of take care of her because we are in that mode, and we spent the entire evening watching our wedding videos. So at that time, for the first time in last so many years, I think we could keep our phone aside, keep our digital distractions aside, and spend so much time together. What learning I got that it's not always we have to be so busy in life, catching up with the life. If we can keep our devices aside for some time and really enjoy the moments, we can definitely live this life in most beautiful way. I enjoyed my last evening thanks to the learning from, although enforced by my wife, but thanks to that learning, and I'll practice this even more. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Nimit. So moving ahead, we have Rama. Would you give it a try? No. We have.
We have Heena also.
Heena.
Absolutely, I'm ready.
Okay. Topic for you is, if you have to gift some thing to your teacher, what would you give? If you have to gift something to your teacher, what would you gift?
Thank you so much, Surjit, for this wonderful topic. This topic reminds me of the story from Eklavya, whose teacher asked him a thumb, and he readily gave that. I'm glad I never had a teacher who has asked me for thumb and both my thumbs are still intact. But surely this question of if I had a choice to give something to my teacher, what would that be? I think that's very wonderful that I'm going back to the roots and the way we have been taught in our culture on gift giving. In the culture I belong to, our teachers are always gifted, believe it or not, a coconut wrapped in a red cloth. A coconut is a very holy symbol which represents a holistic fruit which is designed right from the leaf, the trunk, the tree, the roots. Everything is designed to be able to give back to the society. And I think that's absolutely what I'm going to do. That metaphor of a coconut is what I'm going to pass on, because the teacher I know of have unconditionally given everything to me and helped me become who I am. So that's my gift to the teacher. Thanks again to the culture who has taught me about some of these metaphors, and I'll be happy to continue to live that. Thank you.
Thank you, Heena, for such a wonderful such a wonderful topic. And now we have another. Priyanka Mishra. Priyanka. Sanjay, are you ready now?
We can ask Pawan.
Pawan, would you give it a try?
Sure, Sujit, I'll go.
Okay. Topic for you is, when you were a kid, what would you think you would become in life? When you were a kid, what would you think you would become in life? Pawan.
Okay, so I had a very different career aspirations when I was a kid. because I was very much into sports, and my aim was to somehow get a bachelor's degree, and I stayed on the national level sport championship award, or maybe play for the country, or maybe for the state at least, and get a government job in 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 civil services, like. And that was something I used to think, because you learn from your surrounding. I had many people in uh, my city at that point in time who followed this thing, so I was somehow inspired by them. But as I started growing, I tried to understand the reality of life. You know, government jobs are good for few people, but I realized the kind of energy I was having, it would be difficult for me to stick to one job. So thankfully, again, to one of my teacher and my mentor who guided me to take up new challenges in life, and experiment more. And that's why I ended up doing more studies, because I just mentioned I had two bachelor's degree and two master degree. That was the reason I wanted to do something different. So the second master degree was an afterthought, but I don't regret that. It has shaped up my life in a very better way. Thank you.
Thank you, Pawan. Thank you. Now we have time for one table topic. So who gonna try? Rama, are you? No, Ragini.
Yes, I can. And we also have Swati Verma just joining in, so we can ask her since I'm also evaluating the table topic speakers. Otherwise, I'll go. So let's ask Swati first.
Swati. Swati, are you ready for table topic?
She barely joined.
Yes. We have Priyanka Mishra. Priyanka.
Yes, Sujit, if I'm audible, actually.
Yeah, you are audible and you are.
Thank you. Yes, sure, Sujit. Please go ahead with this one.
Topic for you is your memorable summer break. Memorable summer break, Priyanka.
Unlike most of my summers in childhood, we used to go to our maternal grandparents' house, play around, do everything. 2 years back, I actually went to my friend's sister's marriage. That marriage was happening in Madhya Pradesh, the place called Riva. The journey was amazing. With three of us friends, we went there. We enjoyed over there. We met his parents, we met his friends, we met his sister. We kind of were as if we were actually the relatives of the bride. That was a wonderful, everything was wonderful. Food was good, the dress was good, everything was good. However, while coming back, the train was 8 hours late for Hyderabad. We reached to the station at 8 o'clock in the morning, and in the evening we got our train. The whole 8 hours, I was just roaming on the station from here to there to here. Initially, they were saying it's 2 hours late. Then later they said it's 4 hours late. Then later said one more, after one more it will come. So guys, whenever you plan to come from Madhya Pradesh to Hyderabad, never ever take train. If you really are planning to come by train, then make sure you could be late. So if we have anybody from railways, please make a note. It's a humble request. Otherwise, my wonderful summer vacation, the journey was wonderful, unless that was the hitch. So over to you, Toastmaster, table topic master, sir.
Thank you, Priyanka, for such a wonderful experience. So with this, I wrap up this table topic session, and I thank all the speakers and all the speakers who give it attempted the table topic. So with this, I hand over the stage back to our. So we have best table topic speaker board in front of. So please choose the best table topic speaker.
Thank you, Sujit. So with that, let me quickly jump onto the third major incident of my life. Here comes the most important phase of my career. I wanted to grow and learn, so I decided to move on. I joined a new organization, and that organization had its own challenges. First 6 months in that organization were the toughest time of my career. I decided to quit because I was not getting adjusted to that culture. I was a hardcore technology guy who always focused on the job. And I was little introvert who never appreciated office gossips and politics. Luckily, some organization changes happened and I got a new boss, Vikrant Mendiratta. In few connects, I realized that we are like-minded people. We together built a strong strategy for the team and took the whole team to the next level. He's the one who introduced me to the Toastmasters also. He's the one who guided me on the leadership path. When I was not confident about myself, he was the one who motivated me and showed me the right path. With his help and guidance, I could reach to the next level in my career. And today, I am the technology director for American Express and managing a portfolio of worth more than $20 million. He was my boss, but I always worked with him as a peer. And I want to thank Vikrant for all his support and guidance. With that, let's move to the next section. And for that, I want to call upon our general evaluator, Ragini, for proceedings. Ragini, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So with this, we land to the most important segment, that is evaluations in Toastmasters meeting. I will state my detailed evaluation for all the role players and the table topic speakers towards the end of this section. To spearhead the process, let me first bring in my team forward so that I can evaluate them as well, commencing with the speech evaluator. With all due respect, I'd like to invite on stage our evaluator, Toastmaster Priyanka, to evaluate the prepared speech for Toastmaster Nimit.
Thank you, General Evaluator of the Day. What an energetic speech we had from Nimit today. Throughout the speech, nowhere I felt there was a loss of energy till the conclusion. I loved the way Nimit structured his speech. Starting from the problem statement, throughout the body, how he dealt with it, he talked about his plans, and later, with the conclusion, he quoted Darwin and concluded the speech. The transitions were so smooth. I loved it. How to make this wonderful structured speech the best of all? I have few recommendations for Nimit. When we talk about the voice modulations, Nimit has elevated his voice so well that I wasn't able to pinpoint where he was falling. However, when there were low dots in his speech, whenever throughout the story, when you were feeling low, whenever you are talking about a low instances, sad instance, people were not joining. People were not able to meet. Later he came to the virtual reality. Whenever there were low instances, there we also should make our voice low. That will create an impact and make us feel that, oh yes. With your speech, the feeling will transfer to us also. So there, Nimit, you could work on. The second thing on the content I would like to recommend. When we talk about the management plan, the change management plan, somewhere I found I could not find the difficulties which you faced in changing the management plan. When we are introducing this introducing the Zoom meeting, what were the difficulties you were facing? The struggle, the irritation, all those things, because the change is very difficult. When we're talking about change, it will come with lots of problems. We would really like to hear all those problems too. Then only we could understand the value of change. See, if I summarize Nimit's speech evaluation, he has this really great structure, and also he's honing the modulation, voice modulation part. With these skills, how about Nimit, you work on your expressions too? When we combine structure, voice modulation, good body language, and your expressions, it will make a wonderful speech. And also, you can try this speech on your ISC contest. So with that note, I'd like to conclude my evaluation and handing over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyanka. Moving on, I would now provide a quick evaluation for the table topic speakers first before we move on to my TAG team. Speaker 1, Smita Verma. Your delivery was to the point. I could sense a leader talking about her perspective. Your speech was well structured and lovely ending in the same pattern the topic was delivered. So you said like favorite teacher, the name of the teacher, and then favorite teacher name, and then you handed over back to the table topic master. So that was a highlight. Speaker number 2, Amit Mishra. Your speech seemed very visceral, very natural to me. You shared a personal life example which added a lot of weight to your thoughts, and not just to your thoughts, as well as to the minds of audience who were listening to you. Speaker 3 and Speaker 4, Shivangi, Kaushik and Pallavi. It indeed takes great courage just to decide to step on this virtual stage. So to Shivangi specifically, it is natural to be short of words, and that is completely okay. You know what? Just with a single step to come forward, you inspired everyone around you, and sincerely me as well today. I remember when I was called for my first table topic speaker and I went blank. Literally, I went blank. And always remember that we are all sailing in the same boat. So kudos and a big round of applause for her. To Pallavi specifically, I liked the way you started with an opinion about what you believe in. With some practice, I'm sure you will do great. So you can elaborate more on thoughts, and that will come with practice. Again, very natural, a natural inclination. That's how you progress. Speaker 5 was Bathelhem. I've heard a couple of speeches from Bathelhem now, and it is always distinctive and very fluent. You seem very comfortable while speaking and articulating your thoughts. So keep it up and carry that spark with you always. Speaker 6 was Toastmaster Nimit. Nimit, your USP is how you craft your speech. I see you connecting the dots with opening, body, and conclusion. Probably comes with experience, and hats off to the same. So that's a takeaway. I took it from you today. Speaker 7, Heena. If I'd have to comment your speech in one word, it would be innovative. I like the analogy of coconut used, like the magical energy you delivered your speech with, and lastly, the expressions used very aptly. Speaker 8 was Pawan. Very structured speech, Pawan. I wonder, just like your Toastmaster of the Day script, if you had prepared your table topic script as well. But jokes apart, it indeed seemed a prepared box of thoughts to me. Last speaker was speaker number 9, Priyanka. One second. Priyanka, wonderfully delivered your speech. I loved the way you infused additional elements like humor, then rhetoric moments in your speech, using hand gestures. So it was more like a two-way conversation while you're delivering a speech. So that's kudos to you as well. With this, we conclude the table topic evaluations, and I hope it was helpful for speakers and all the role players as well. And now I would move on to my tag team to present their evaluation report. I'll start with the grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Smita Verma. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, Madam General Evaluator. Can I share my screen? I would like to share my screen. It is not enabled.
You can do now.
Okay. Please give me a thumbs up if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, we are able to.
Okay, perfect. So this was a wonderful meeting. I could not find much of not so good usage. Overall, very good. SSA, I could not find anything wired or anything which was not so good. It was very apt and in a very, I would say, in best manner it was delivered. Coming to the good usage of the entire meeting, I'm just summarizing. We made use of accentuate, heartful thanks, cognizant, in the same realm, auspicious occasion, distinctive. Here is the tribute, flip side, started off, news in nightmare, oblivion is obvious, set his eyes back out, reality to virtual reality. These were the great phrases. And then Nimit concluded the speech with this beautiful quote: one who survives and eventually wins the game is the one who manages change. Essential support, wonderful experience, digital distraction aside, catching up with life, going back to our roots, unconditionally given me, and metaphor. These were the great uses into the meeting. Not so good, only a couple of I could find, like actual value of the problem. It could be actual size of the problem. As confusing, it should be as confused. Building on the momentum, it should be building on the momentum. It should be building the momentum. And another one was, unless that was a hitch, until that hitch happened, could be used. So that's all from my side. Overall, everyone did great job. And I would like to conclude my report here with a couple of tips to make the best use of grammar. Always try to use short sentences, simple and active voice, that helps, and try to enrich your vocab with a variety of words. I hope you all enjoyed your evaluation. I'll do great. Thanks, and over to just one point. I could not find the use of the word of the day. Probably I missed, and maybe General Evaluator can point that out. Thank you, and over to Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smita. With this, we move on to our next tag role player, who is our counter, Toastmaster Heena Verma.
Thank you, and I'm going to request screen share as well. I hope I have the authorizations. All right, so while I get the authorization, let me share screen. Okay. All right, I hope you can see my screen and it is shared. Confirmations?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, Madam General Evaluator, this is presenting to you the current number of hits we have had as we practice celerity, which is the fluency in language today. Interestingly, we are touching close to 100 on all the fillers we could have. I think the largest filler which we can see today is around and These are great tools, especially if you're singing, but probably not the best of words to use in our speech. Often, a lot of us go into and ums because we are walking through it or we're talking through it as a natural course of language, and especially we are not necessarily very cognizant of it. A good idea for us as we see the screens and we look for our names and ask ourselves, how many filler words did we have, or did we have a lot of ahs and hums? A few tips which you could consider, especially when it comes to ahs and hums, is to say, how do I replace them with a pause, and not an unintentional pause, but a good pause? How do I make sure that I think before I start? I always get a few seconds before we get started with the speech. So frame your thinking, think of those 3 or 4 big points you want to deliver, and take it slow. There's no rush. We have enough and more times, and we have the wonderful timer to always alert us to the time. Thank you. I hope this was useful, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Heena. And lastly, we move on to our timer of the day, Toastmaster Rama.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today meeting started well on time at 1:30 p.m. and there were 2 disqualifications today. Now starting with prepared speeches. Nimit spoke for 7 minutes and 32 seconds. Now coming to the table topics. Smita spoke for 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Amit spoke for 1 minute and 39 seconds. Shivangi spoke for 1 minute. Pallavi spoke for 32 seconds. Bathelhem spoke for 1 minute. Nimit spoke for 1 minute 59 seconds. Heena spoke for 1 minute 33 seconds. Pawan spoke for 1 minute 33 seconds. And Priyanka spoke for 2 minutes 4 seconds. Now coming to the evaluation section. Priyanka spoke for 3 minutes 17 seconds. Now coming to the tag team. Smita as a grammarian spoke for 2 minutes 52 seconds. And Heena as a R counter spoke for 2 minutes 3 seconds. Thank you so much. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rama. And let us now quickly vote for our best auxiliary role player. Thank you, everyone. And now I will evaluate the role players and the meeting throughout. My evaluation will follow a sequential order, commencing with Sergeant at Arms. Sergeant at Arms set the ball rolling by starting the meet right on time. Club mission statement and ground rules were properly read by the Sergeant at Arms of the day. Toastmaster of the day, I appreciate the pick of the relatable theme on the very right occasion. But what I appreciate more is the way of conduct. Attitude of gratitude was carried throughout, which filled the meeting with positivity and generosity. Also, thank you for adhering to the time limits on point. Table topic master, Toastmaster Surjit. Topics selected were generic and germane in nature. You added the spark through motivating speakers and complimenting them additionally. Another highlight for me was, so there were some speakers which we witnessed today were not comfortable with the topics. So that celerity to which you adhered and changed their topic made them very comfortable to speak, and always and tried to time nudge them to speak in a very positive manner. So thank you and kudos to you for that. Our speech evaluator, Toastmaster Priyanka, evaluation in line with the objective of the project. Commendations and recommendations you provided were encouraging, and I'm sure it will help the speaker to move to the next level. Tag team now. I believe one of the best tag team I have ever had. All of your reports was like music to my ears. Starting with the timer. Timer cuts were shown appropriately. As always, nailed it with your celerity and preciseness in the performance. Our counter, Toastmaster Heena, report was detailed. You set an encouraging tone overall, displaying and explaining the report with tips and tricks and analogies created more impact. Lastly, my grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Smita Verma. Role was very well explained. Word of the day was explained verbally as well as through the chat box. The report was encouraging. Thank you for taking this up for our club at the very last moment. Very enriching and helpful tips provided. Overall, the meeting was conducted very smoothly. Speeches did not feature offensive language. And again, I would like to express my gratitude towards all the role players for helping us conduct this session a success. With this, I would now hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, Pawan Kaushik.
Thank you, General Evaluator. My story will not complete if I don't talk about my journey at Toastmaster. I joined Toastmaster for a purpose to learn new skills around public speaking. But now I enjoy and feel proud to be a part of Toastmaster. Because of my busy schedule, you might not be seeing me in many of the meetings, but I'm committed to be a lifelong Toastmaster. In my Toastmaster journey, there is a special person who has been my mentor. She is younger to me, but I respect her a lot because of her dedication to help me reach my goals. She knows me, my career aspiration, and guides me well. So today, I want to thank Vishakha Sharma for being a great friend and mentor to me. There are people who you always remember because they made some impact in your life. But at the very same time, life never hesitates to surprise you with twists and turns, and they may be good or bad. I truly believe that your last mistake is your best teacher. So introspect and learn from your failures. With that, I would like to give stage back to our presiding officer, the Toastmaster Ragini. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, for that wonderful thoughts shared towards the end. Now, as said and as proven, it's never too late to learn. And now is the time when I would pass on the stage to the guests one by one and would request them to share their feedback and learnings and any thoughts which they would like to share with us. And before that, please let us vote for the best role player. Thank you, everyone. Let's start with Amit Mishra. Can we have him on the virtual stage, please?
Hello.
Yes, Amit.
Yes, sure. So it's a very exciting journey for me that I have learned so many things from altogether different personality, different topics, even very beautiful examples that I have learned today, like how. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amit. And we hope to see you in our further upcoming meetings as well.
Sure.
Next,
thank you.
Next, we move on to Bathelhem. Bathelhem, can we have your feedback, please?
I really enjoyed the meeting. It was very energetic and vibrant. I learned a lot. It was very educational. Thank you again for giving me the chance to participate in table topic. It's wonderful meeting. Kudos to you. Over to you.
Thank you, Bathelhem, and thank you for your contribution towards our meetings. Next, we move on to Pallavi Bajoria.
It's a good experience. I enjoyed it. It's my first meeting, and I wish I'll continue with this.
Thank you so much, Pallavi, and that's a wonderful feedback to hear. We wish you to continue with us for
Sure.
to eternity. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yes. Next, we move on to, I think that is it. So we do not have any more guests left for now. Okay, before the role play starts dropping off, let's have a quick group fee, please. Can we all switch on to our videos? Thank you. Let's pause. Anything, any expression which would you like to make?
Heena and Pawan, please come on video.
Great. House full, and give me a moment. Done. Thank you so much.
Request you all to please stay back for 4 or 5 more minutes.
Okay,
Yes,
so with this, I will pass on the stage to Nimit first to distribute the certificates if they are ready.
The certificates are not ready this time, but then definitely they would be emailed to all the winners very shortly. But we have the winners ready.
Yes, so please could you announce? Yeah.
Okay, so starting with the best table topic speaker, today we had a tie, and this time we had a tie between 2 of our guests. So congratulations to both of you. One of them was Amit Mishra, the other one, the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Smita Verma. Congratulations to both of them. Next, we move on to the best auxiliary role player, and it was a close fight again, but the R counter of the day, Toastmaster Heena Verma, just bags it, and deservedly so, because her report was splendid. So congratulations, Heena. There's also a special award for you, Heena, that would be shared with you, and that is the Standing Ovation Award. So let's have a standing ovation for you, because you was playing this role for the very first time. Congratulations again. And next we move on to the best role player. Right, so this is the big one. It was a close fight again, and just by a margin of 1 vote, and then that too a tie between the table topics master Surjit and the general evaluator Ragini. Congratulations to both of you. And the certificates, the winner certificate would be shared with you very shortly on your email. Okay, and if you, in case you don't get, please reach out to me. And back to you, Ragini, for important announcements and updates. Request you all to please stay back.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nimit. And I think we can conclude the meeting before I announce anything further. So we can stop the recording and then we can make a roll call.